If your hot, sticky sheets keep you up all night. If you've decided that you deserve to be cool and comfortable. And with no payments, no interest for 1 year, it could only be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
This jersey was worn by the legend himself, signed and everything.
You can't just wear it.
I'm framing it with expressions and images.
Your prized jersey deserves better than the closet. Think Expressions and Images, your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
Recently, our company softball team lost a big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus all. T's and C's apply.
Hi, Edmonton. If the Subaru Outback is on your wish list, now's the time to act. With only limited inventory available, these award-winning SUVs won't be here for long. The Outback has earned an IIHS top safety pick or higher for 17 consecutive years, combining legendary Subaru capability, confidence in every season, and the versatility to take you almost anywhere. Reserve yours today before they're gone. Visit your local Subaru dealership today. Welcome to Uncommon.
Get your lineups and laughs right here on The Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440, presented by Wilhauk Beef Jerky.
Just after 11 o'clock, good morning. Thank you for joining us here on The Frenzy, brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, the home of Alberta's best beef jerky, online at wilhaukbeefjerky.com. Only available in the Duke. Go check them out. Say hello, tell them we sent you, grab a bag or two, and thank us later, or maybe drop us off a bag. We would appreciate that as well, because although the liner says Alberta's best beef jerky, I will say it is the world's best beef jerky. Connor Halley here with you, Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick, and intern Connor Guy. Those guys keeping us on track as we roll along here. You can listen, you can watch us on YouTube, Sports 1440 AM. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you go subscribe, hit the like button, say hello to me in the chat. Triple Crown in there as well. Mr. Frank Fontana. He's going to join us in a couple weeks, actually. Talk some more horse racing.
Coming up on Derby time.
Oh, yeah.
Down at the track.
I'd like, summer's almost over. I mean, we still have the rest of August, and the way the world's going, who knows? Maybe summer might linger into September, October. But
I was playing at Redtail last weekend.
Humble brag.
Is it? It wasn't that day because it was right after that storm. So we're literally like puddle jumping every single spot your ball was. And I was surprisingly on the fairway even a little bit and still very wet. Besides the point, obviously runs right along beside the racetrack down there where Frank plies his trade.
Ooh.
And I was thinking about that. I was like, man, got to get down to the track here before the summer's over.
Track, you got planes flying overhead every once in a while.
Very true.
The problem with me is I'd be on my flight radar, just checking where that flight's going.
Where is that plane going? And is Shohei Ohtani on it?
I must know. Oh, Kelowna. Cool. That's what I would be looking at. Today on this show, our NFL training camps continue. We're going to head down to what they call H-Town.
H-Town made.
Houston, Texas. Sean Pendergast going to join us. Look at the Houston Texans, the co-host of Payne and Pendergast on Sports Radio 610, weekdays, 6 to 10 a.m. That's funny. Radio 610, they're on 6 to 10. The Texans, I mean, We know this team is good. How good? The defense
really
could
good.
be epic. It's funny, Duke, because the defense is really, really good, right? But they haven't sat on their hands. Like, they brought in more players. They draft Caden McDonald, defensive tackle out of the Ohio State. Jadeveon Clowney back like he never left.
Full circle. When they signed him over the weekend, I had to think, I was like, what year was he drafted? 2014.
Yeah.
That is a long time ago.
It should have been Reggie Bush.
Should have been.
Wait.
No, I don't think so. No, I thought it should have, in real time, I thought it should have been Johnny Manziel.
Mario Williams.
I think they made the right choice there.
That's who it was. Mario Williams is who they took over Reggie Bush, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Good pick, good player. But the hit he had, I believe it was on a Gamecock, or he was the Gamecock.
He was
on
the
Michigan.
Against Michigan.
Yeah.
Like, popped that guy's helmet off in the backfield. Like, one highlight essentially ascended him to first overall.
Yeah,
and he was really good in Houston, because he would, like, him and Watt, like, just a terrorizing defensive front. But he had some problems. His consistency. I remember he took a penalty in one playoff game that essentially cost him a game. I want to say it was maybe against the Chiefs, and I never really forgave him for that. He proceeded to bounce around a little bit in the meantime.
100%. I mean, it's interesting he gets back there. Seattle, Tennessee, Cleveland, Baltimore, Carolina, Dallas. Still seeking his first double-digit sack season. He's hit 9.5 on 2 occasions. 8.5 last year with the Cowboys. Pretty good season as an individual. So he'll roll into Houston, so we'll talk about that. We'll take your text, 1-833-401-1440. And your emails, Connor at Sports1440, Brandon at Sports1440, Josh at Sports1440. All of those .ca. Although, boys, if you'd like, we might as well get right into it. You want to do it?
Oh, I think I want to do it.
Want to ring the bell? All right. Ding, ding.
Round 1.
All right, fellas. For round number 1, really have to get the debate going here. The Chargers and the Texans, per my research on my one betting app, both have a win total this season of 9.5. That's their over-under. Who is more likely to hit the over?
Cons, you got to go first today.
Do I? This might surprise you. I'm pretty hard on my own team. The first few weeks of their schedule are going to be quite tough. Actually, the first 2 weeks will be quite easy. I hope. Arizona and Vegas should be easy. But then they have one hell of a stretch. They're in Buffalo, in Seattle, host Denver, in Kansas City, host the Rams, then get those Texans, then the Ravens. That is an unbelievably tough schedule. If they go like 3-3 in that stretch, I'd probably be happy with it. I think both teams will get there, but when I look at the Houston Texans, you've got Buffalo, but then I think you've got some winnable games. You got the Bengals, you got the Colts, Dallas, Tennessee, Jacksonville, the Giants, those Chargers, Browns, Colts again. Like, I think there's a lot of winnable games there, and that defense is going to be incredible. So I'm not going to bat for my own team. I always fear the worst for them, and I will say it is the Houston Texans.
This is not the direction I thought this was going to go.
Oh, you don't have to agree. You can agree with it if you want.
No, I refuse to. I'll take the other side. I'll go Bolts. I'm with you, Connor. I do think both teams hit the 10-win threshold, but if I had to pick one, listen, the Chargers, I think, play in the more competitive division, but iron sharpens iron. Do they split all those games? Because even Houston, right? Like, outside of, I don't know, probably Tennessee, and even still, Tennessee, they're going to be better this year, I think, for sure. So if we're talking about divisional games, the Chargers, I think, have a better chance of getting more division wins because of maybe 2 over the Raiders, and then you split the rest of them. Whereas Houston, there's realistic to say you split all of them. And outside of that, yeah, LA does have a more difficult schedule at face value right now. We know how quickly that can change. And I think the upside offensively for LA is higher when you talk about Justin Herbert and what he can do, or if he can do it as the if man. The offensive line, that's everything for this team. If they can keep him upright and keep him protected, his abilities are unquestioned, in my opinion. Like, I love CJ Stroud. I believe he's capable, but Herbert's on another tier of ability. So when you pair that with Hampton, McConkey, can Quentin Johnston improve? Of course, Trey Harris, you've been pounding that drum. And their defense is capable. It's obviously not as good as Houston's, which is the best in the league last year, and technically improved upon in some elements. So I just think the offensive upside of the Chargers maybe has me a little more excited on that front, and the ability to get to 10 wins more easily than what Houston can. they might have to claw it out in another ugly year of AFC South football.
No. Rashawn Slater left practice yesterday.
Oh, no.
It's happening already.
Also, I already want to rewind some of my thoughts on the Falcons because Walker tore an ACL. Possibly.
Oh,
I thought that was confirmed
Jalen
way
Walker.
earlier this morning.
That could have been. I've just been watching the Loop on SportsCenter, and it was still just MRI to come. So if it's been confirmed, great. All the better.
Schefter 2 hours ago. Yeah, Jalen Walker ACL tear.
Well, the good news is they've got Pierce. Oh, wait. No, they don't. He's going to get suspended for sure.
Yeah.
Round 2.
Oh, right. I'm not paying attention.
Round 2.
That voice actor we paid to do this live has to get back on track.
Yeah, real.
That might be the intern's new job.
That's right. If we're late on this, Connor, you just got to take the mic from me. Do your best like EA Sports impression, but just say round 1. Anyways, number 2. If it takes longer than 1 minute in a video review to analyze a call, the call on the field, ice, court, etc., should stand.
So the arbitrary timeline of 1 minute. Now, this is difficult because what if there are technical difficulties? Like, is it just like as soon as
1 minute of like actual watching the video? If there's technical difficulties,
Okay.
like you get the grace for that, whatever.
But then it's like an argument. But like, oh, they're taking too long. It's like, is it just arbitrary? Like as soon as a review is initiated, 1 minute goes up on the clock, and it's counting down in stadium. And as soon as the buzzer goes, the referee has to turn around and make a call, right? I'll be in though, or I'll take the side of yes, that it should stand, because I do think we've gotten a little out of control with reviews, and we want things to be correct. There's no doubt, but I also am a firm believer in human error in sport, and that transitions to the officials as well. I like the ABS system in baseball. I do not want robot umpires. I like the ability to challenge calls on the field when it's so glaringly obvious, or on the court or on the ice for that matter, when it's so glaringly obvious that they were incorrectly made. But I don't want every single thing to be called into question all the time and then slow the game down even more. We're already dedicating 3 hours usually to these contests, watch them on TV or in person. So I'll be in on this as the question reads, that a minute it should be the max you get to review something.
I'm out. 30 seconds. We don't need it to be even longer. Like, this does not take that long to get the right call. Here's the thing. Your billion-dollar leagues, employ someone to have these replays ready for every single instance. Show it to the referees. Show it to them 3 times. Like, bang, bang, bang. You've seen it. Make your call.
Are they allowed to watch it in slow motion?
No slow motion. We're taking that out of the equation as well. You're watching it in regular speed. We want this to be, take away the obvious. Is it Duchesne who had the really bad
the
goal?
all-timer,
Take
9
that
feet offside.
Yeah, take that one out. That obviously would not stand. The ones that are close, you know what? Especially like when it's a player skating off the ice on like the opposite side and they call it them for too many men, but they've got nothing to do with the play. I also might consider putting a time limit on offsides. If you could do that, like, okay, once it's been 50 seconds in the offensive zone, well,
like your ability to challenge expires.
Like it hasn't been, like, if it's in offside, but it's in the zone and you just haven't cleared it out for like a minute, well, maybe you should have cleared it out and it wouldn't have happened. This will never happen though, because it's a can of worms that's open. It's never going back.
It's tough to put the genie back in the bottle, no doubt. I'll disagree with you on the offside thing, because the play should be dead. It doesn't matter how long you hold in the zone. It shouldn't. Now, if they exit the zone and re-enter, which is as the rule currently reads, my understanding, then you cannot challenge. But it's still the same argument can be made. Like, the play should have been dead a minute and a half ago because it was offside.
Do you know what I actually feel though?
What do you actually feel?
Just get the call right. At the end of the day, it should be quick. There's no need, like you said, unless there's technical difficulty. At the end of the day, did you get the call right? Did it take 45 seconds, a minute and a half? So be it. Get the call right.
Interesting.
Final round.
And for number 3 today, going back to the show's original roots, we're talking fantasy. Who should be the 1-1 in fantasy this year? Bijan, Gibbs, and I'll throw or other in there.
Go ahead, Cons.
I mean, I kind of think it is between those two. I'm going to glean with a guy that I selected in my leagues, Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, obviously, both players are very good. If you go back and look at the rushing touchdowns last year, Bijan had 7. Jahmyr Gibbs had 13. I think that's pretty obvious to tell you that that's what matters. Receiving touchdowns, Gibbs had 5. Bijan had 4. Now, Bijan had 79 receptions, 2 more than Gibbs, if you're leaning that way, and a few more receiving yards. I believe it was like 180, so 10 a game. One more point in that factor. But I also just believe a lot more that the quarterback situation in Atlanta could lead you down a bad way. And I know Tua's had productive seasons, and it could be okay. Penix we're a little bit unsure about. But I think Jahmyr Gibbs' versatility, there's going to be games where he maybe doesn't get the workload you want, but overall, I think he's going to give you the better production. So I lean Jahmyr Gibbs in that Detroit Lions offseason or offense bouncing back.
Give me Kyle Pitts. No, I'm kidding. I just can't quit him. Connor, you know what I'm talking about.
I did quit him.
Good for you.
Hardest thing
way to get out of that abusive relationship. No, I'll take Robinson. Can't go wrong here. And I'm a huge Gibbs guy. Got him, I think, for my final year in my keeper league this season. So hoping to take advantage of that opportunity. But you talked about some of the numbers there, Connor. Like Bijan, I think, does have a tiny amount of higher upside in the pass game. Just based on the statistics and the most recent sample size we have. Does David Montgomery's departure change that at all in Detroit? And we've seen Gibbs be so productive, but now with a less confirmed, veteran guy behind him, Pacheco, veteran, but not as productive, I think, as David Montgomery's track record showed. Does that mean Gibbs' workload is going to increase to the point that, it maybe becomes a little too much for him and he can peter out a little bit more? Similar argument in Atlanta, but I think we've seen Bijan carry more of that load at times and just had some touchdowns snaked from him by the likes of Tyler Algier, Brian Robinson Jr. now in that role. And your quarterback point, I'll just flip that. Kevin Stefanski's now the head coach. He's made some real good progress with quarterbacks in the past, primarily I think Baker Mayfield as the example, what he turned him into before.
He ruined Deshaun Watson.
Well, I don't think Deshaun Watson might have done some of that.
That was an MVP quarterback.
Keep in mind, Deshaun Watson in competition for the Browns starting job again this season. So whether it's Tua Tagovailoa or Michael Penix Jr., I think both guys will probably see time. I think Stefanski's a capable enough offensive mind to manage the game enough. This is a monster offense outside of the QB position. London, Pitts, Robinson, those are all guys that I'm pretty confident in. Little good spread options. I'll take Bijan as my number one guy.
This guy was a 3-time Pro Bowler in Houston, and Stefanski ruined him somehow. Nothing else, right? Nothing else off the field.
Nothing else comes to mind.
Massage your brain a little. Maybe something will come to mind. Guy's a creep. We're rooting against him, I think, actively as a society.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair.
Both good picks, though. Like, it wouldn't surprise me to go 1-2. I think that's probably consensus.
So who are you taking at 3 then? If I spin this really quickly before we go to break.
Oh, in my PPR?
Yeah.
Probably. I there's some guys I like, but probably Jamar Chase. How about you?
Yeah, it's tough to argue. Tough. That was the first name that came to my head for sure.
I mean, Jonathan Taylor came to my mind, but I feel like you get him a little bit later. You probably don't have to go at 3. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll get to more text. 1-833-401-1440, and we'll continue our talk of the NFL. I love Sean Pendergast's Twitter bio. Former captain of history, current Sopranos historian. Might have to ask him his favorite episode of The Sopranos as well. It is The Frenzy here on Sports 1440, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and Twitch. Brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Japa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
Tap into the fun of Play Alberta's most popular casino games. From the fast-paced spins of Cash Eruption to the retro thrills of Sevens Wild, online excitement is always at your fingertips. Spin through your choice of popular slots or discover Alberta-exclusive games you won't find anywhere else. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Do you know why people love working at GS Construction? It's honest work. It's work that needs to be done. And we're really good at what we do. That's why GS Construction has been in business for over 50 years. We won't be wearing a top hat and tails, more like hard hat and boots, because we're heading underground to keep the water flowing in and out of your homes and businesses in Edmonton. GS Construction is currently looking for experienced pipe layers and top men. Visit gsconstruction.ca/careers today.
Albertans love to debate the best way to enjoy summer sports.
No. Playing on the field is the best, man.
No way. Watching from the sidelines, way more relaxing.
You're both crazy. Checking out the game from the bro zone is where it's at.
But there's one thing every sports fan agrees on.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky.
Wherever you catch the action, load up on Alberta's best beef jerky.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky, because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
Want sports talk on the go?
You can listen to 1440 on the AM dial or stream us on your mobile device through apps like Radio Player, iHeart, and Stingray Music.
Edmonton sports fans,
turn to Sports 1440.
1440.
We were at a party. I was having fun. He wasn't. He grabbed my arm, then yanked me towards
the front door. Was under his watch 24/7. He installed a doorbell camera to control me, to keep me at home. It hurt.
More than you can imagine.
Tech abuse is real abuse. If you or someone you know is using technology to harm or control, change is possible. Learn how to end the violence at alberta.ca/endgbv. A message from the Government of Alberta.
It might have been scraped by the snowblower, dented while door crashing, or crunched at the company Christmas party. At some point over the winter, your car was damaged and it's been hiding under a coat of winter grime.
Then come and see Robertson Body Works. We can take care of the damage and the dirt. This week only, call and book a repair and get a complete auto detailing absolutely free.
But you have to book your appointment before the week is up. Go to robertsonbodyworks.com.
I'm Tim Robertson, and I fix cars.
Quick opinions and fun times. The Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440. Presented by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
It's 11:21. Welcome back to the Frenzy here on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, the home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Check them out online at wilhaukbeefjerky.com. Connor Halley, Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick, intern Connor with you here at the Sports 1440 studios. You can always reach us, 1-833-401-1440. Right now, we are going to continue our look around the NFL. This segment for Alex Nation. Check out the new website, alexnation.ca. Articles, podcast, and more. Breaking down the green and gold, the most in-depth EE football coverage online, alexnation.ca. And we're continuing our tour around the NFL. We're going to head down to Houston and be joined by Sean Pendergast, the co-host on Payne and Pendergast on Sports 610, of course, weekdays, 6 to 10 a.m. If you're looking to tune in, get updates on what's going on down in Houston. Sean, good afternoon. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. And actually, as of a week from Thursday, we're going to be 95.7 The Fan. We're moving over to FM.
Oh,
so we're getting into the modern world. Pretty excited about that.
One day, I hope we're able to do that. We're on YouTube, and that's got a big jump up for us. So congratulations. That's
pretty modern.
Yeah.
YouTube is more modern than either of those things. You're fine.
We're also on Twitch for the gamers out there that might want to tune in. I don't know. I don't think.
Well, now you're just showing off.
Yeah,
all right? Now you're just showing off.
Humble brag here. I think we have one viewer, and I don't know who that would be. But Sean, we appreciate you joining us on the show today. Before we get to the Texans, I have to ask you. I see your bio here on X. Current Sopranos historian. Yeah. So, what is your top episode of all time?
I would say it's, I think a lot, I hate being cliche because I think a lot of people have Pine Barrens as the best episode of all time. I thought that was the best episode before people started making lists of the best episodes. So I just want to say, I thought Pine Barrens was number one before that was cool to think Pine Barrens was number one. I just want to point that out. So I would say that's probably number one. And if I did an honorable mention, I would say pretty much any, like, towards the end of the season episode where somebody prominent gets whacked. Funhouse, I think, was when R.I.P. Vincent Pastore, Big Pussy, got whacked. Adriana, long-term parking. That was a good one. I'm spoiling this for a lot of people right now. If you haven't seen Sopranos, it was 20 years ago, so if you haven't seen it yet. So anyways, yeah, what about you?
Pine Barrens was the one that came to mind immediately. Just the back and forth between Paulie and Chris. That was just unbelievable writing and everything. And where Adriana gets whacked. That was an episode. My co-host, who's going to talk to you in a second here, I remember he was watching the show and he was approaching it. And it just took me back because that was a tough one. That was a tough one for me in terms of TV deaths. Like, I was a fan of her. And obviously, you look at the show and the lifestyle, maybe it had to happen. But yeah, that one still kind of hit home.
Well, she was an actual, like, her character was actually a good person.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of these people are scumbags, so it's like, wow, like she was a really nice person. I hated to see that, but dude, when Paulie says that he killed 60 Czechoslovakians and he was an interior decorator, there's no better line in the history of television than that.
I laughed out loud. Like, I watched Sopranos for the first time this past year, Sean, and when that happened, I was crying laughing in that whole interaction, the phone conversations with Tony. It is so funny. He's like, his house looked like crap. It's an interior decorator.
So good. So good.
Okay, Sean, we'll turn our attention to the Houston Texans. Appreciate that little walk down memory lane. Classic show. If you haven't watched it, even with the spoilers, you definitely got to check it out. And usually when we do our talks of NFL teams, we go to the offense first, but I can't help but look at this defense. And I'm a Chargers fan. I saw firsthand a couple of years ago this pass rush and what they can do. We saw it in the playoffs, despite the loss to the New England Patriots, how good they can be. They add Jadeveon Clowney and then draft Caden McDonald in the second round from Ohio State, a guy who I kind of thought could be a first-round pick as well. What are your expectations for this defense? Because it looks like it could go down as one of the best we've ever seen.
Yeah, the expectations are just that it's going to be one of the best we've ever seen. I expect it to be the best defense in football. They didn't lose anybody up that defense last year that was relevant. And by the way, most of these guys are locked down for multiple years. They name any guy that made the Pro Bowl or got all-pro accolades for the Texans last year on that defensive side of the ball, and there's a lot of them. They're all under contract for at least 2, and some of them 3, 4, or 5 years. So this defense is going to be good, not just this year, but for a long, long time. And they upgrade. There were 3 areas, I would say, that were, I hesitate to even call them weaknesses, but just they weren't as strong as they are everywhere else. One was the safety position next to Kalen Bullock, which was a rotating door last year. And they signed Reed Blankenship from the Eagles, who's a very solid football player. They struggled at times against the run last year. As you pointed out, they drafted Caden McDonald. And then the Clowney pickup this week just has everybody over the moon because it's a return home for him. He lives in Houston. He's lived in Houston ever since he was drafted, even the years he was playing other places. So it just made a lot of sense. He fills a need for them. Their depth behind Will Anderson Jr. and Daniil Hunter at defensive end is not great. Now it's really good. I would argue maybe the best defensive end 3 in the league in Clowney. And they were doing some cool stuff today at practice with Clowney lining up in a 2-point stance over the guard with Will and Daniil, coming on that wide 9 stuff. So it's going to be 3rd and 12 is not going to be fun for opposing quarterbacks this year.
Sean, this is going to be year 4 for head coach D'Amico Ryans. He's got them to the playoffs in each of the last 3 years, has won a game each round. Where have you seen the most growth from him as a head coach?
Yeah, I would say probably his ability to delegate. And he would say that too. He's been asked that quite a bit over the last couple of years. And when he got here, he was calling the defenses, as maybe he should have when he got here. He was one of the best defensive coordinators in football with the 49ers and has always had an amazing mind for the game, going all the way back to when he was a player here. But last year, as the offense was struggling, he handed play calling duties over to Matt Burke, the defensive coordinator. And as you guys pointed out, it was a really good defense last year. They didn't skip a beat doing that. So I would say that's the biggest thing is we hear a lot of stories now of D'Amico kind of sitting in on meetings that he might not have sat in on before in terms of either position groups or spending more time with the offense than he used to. So I would say that's probably the biggest thing is he's become maybe more of a CEO.
Talking all things Houston Texans with Sean Pendergast from Sports Radio down in Houston. Payne and Pendergast show on 610. Switching over to the FM dial. Exciting news for the program down there on here on the Frenzy. So, Sean, it's all rosy to talk about the defense of this team because of how good it's been and how good it is expected to be again. But offensively, now CJ Stroud has 3 playoff wins under his belt, but the performance in the playoffs last season left a lot to be desired, even in the win over Pittsburgh. Now there's lots of good comments from his teammates and coaches and stuff at the early parts of camp this year. But what do you think realistically is the ceiling for CJ Stroud inside this offense? And can he be the guy that finally gets this team over some hurdles into, say, an AFC championship game and who knows, maybe even a Super Bowl? Because the defense is certainly good enough to get them there.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, like there's a difference between can he get them to a Super Bowl or can he be the quarterback on a team that gets to the Super Bowl? And I think he could be either. But my point is that on this team with this defense, you don't have to go out there and do what Joe Burrow does every week in Cincinnati. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be Josh Allen. You quite honestly just have to be the CJ Stroud of the regular season last year. You know, if you look at his numbers weren't as good as his rookie year, when he led the league in yards per game and had the lowest interception rate in the sport. Only one other quarterback did that in the history of keeping stats, and that's Tom Brady. So, you know, CJ, as you guys know, had just an amazing rookie year. I don't know that he needs to even be as good as he was his rookie year for this team to get to and win a Super Bowl with this defense. But what he can't do is what he did in that New England game last year. He can't go out and lose the game for you. So, CJ knows that. He's a smart kid. He's had a really good offseason. He's had an excellent training camp. But I think that's the other thing to point out. This is year 2 in this system with him. Nick Caley is in his second year as the offensive coordinator. It's pretty much the old New England offense, which everybody says takes a year before you get really proficient at it. Nick Caserio was on with us yesterday on my show. And he said it took Brady 4 years to get proficient in this offense. And I was like, well, that must be nice, winning 3 Super Bowls while your quarterback is still fumbling around with the offense. That had to be pretty cool. But with CJ, he's had a really good camp. He looks way more in command. The big story hanging over CJ right now, as I'm sure you guys know, is he going to get a contract? You know, he's 3 years in. The good quarterbacks all get $50, $60 million a year contracts after 3 years. According to Nick Caserio, and again, we talked about this with Nick yesterday on my show, live out of camp. Talks are still ongoing with CJ's camp. May not happen before the season starts, but there is a line of communication right now. And we were kind of surmising today if maybe they wanted to see him go through training camp in this offense another year. Because the fact of the matter is, he's not going to face a better defense than the one he's facing every day out there at camp. You know, they go ones versus ones all the time in the team period. So CJ's had a good camp. I think CJ can be that guy. I don't think he needs to be a top 5 quarterback to win a Super Bowl with this team.
Sean Pendergast from down in Houston joined us here on The Frenzy, talking all things Houston Texans. Now, part of what can help make him more successful is time and space inside the pocket. This offensive line has been, well, a little bit of a roller coaster, and that might be generous the last couple of seasons. They go back to the draft again, getting Keelan Rutledge as their top guy. Second-year man, Aranti Ursary over on the left side. Is the O-line improved enough to make life easier on CJ Stroud in this offense?
It's definitely improved over what it was this time a year ago, for sure. I mean, and I would add some of the vets they brought in to the names that you guys just brought up, which is they signed Wyatt Teller, they signed Braden Smith, they brought back Ed Ingram, who was one of their few good offensive linemen last year. Ursary is the only fixture on that line right now, though. I'm not saying he's the only good offensive lineman. I'm saying they're shuffling everybody up there except him. You know, Keelan Rutledge was drafted as a guard, but he's been playing center for a lot of training camp, you know, with the ones. So they still have a lot of moving pieces. I think the biggest thing is they're going to take 9 or 10 guys into the season on the offensive line. The last couple of years, you had to struggle. If you were doing a roster projection, you had to struggle to come up with 9 names that you wanted to bring into the season. Now you struggle with, who am I going to cut at the end here? It's just a deeper room. I don't know. It's going to be a better line just because the talent's better. Again, year 2 in the system matters with that group also. I think they are well coached. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Rutledge has been a real, I know he's a first-round pick, so he's got big expectations. He's had a great camp, too, and guys hate playing against him. He's one of these guys that finishes every rep at every practice. Not till his guy, finishes until his guy is miserable. The guy he's responsible for is miserable getting blocked by him. He's one of those guys. He'd be one of those guys that in the movie Rudy, Vince Vaughn would be yelling at, this guy thinks it's the GD Super Bowl out here. He's one of those guys. He is a play through the whistle guy. And frankly, D'Amico Ryans loves that. That's his favorite kind of guy.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you need a couple of those guys on the offensive line to bring everyone else into the battle, especially in training camp. As Sean Pendergast joining us here on the Frenzy from Sports Radio 610 in Houston, taking a look at those Texans. And, we've talked about the quarterback, we've talked about the offensive line. Let's look into the backfield here. David Montgomery comes over from the Detroit Lions. He's got a couple 1,000-yard seasons under his belt. You pair him up with Woody Marks, and I think you got a pretty nice backfield there. How do you think the distribution is going to work between those two running backs?
I think David Montgomery is considered the lead back, but I don't know that it's a hard and fast designation. Jane Slater of the NFL Network, who's actually out at our practice here today, I just saw Jane a little while ago, she had reported that there's going to be a split of the carries between the two, and people started freaking out because, well, why'd you trade for David Montgomery if you're just going to split carries with Woody Marks? Well, one, Woody Marks is a pretty good back himself. Two, it helps to, keep each guy fresh. And I think they're going to do some stuff with both guys on the field, honestly, because both guys have really good hands, catch the ball out of the backfield. That was what Woody Marks was originally drafted for. He was drafted to be more of a change of pace receiver out of the backfield. He caught like 80 passes his last year at USC. But then Joe Mixon got his mysterious injury last year, and we never saw him again. So they signed Nick Chubb, who's 30 years old, but played like he was 60. And so Woody Marks all of a sudden turns into your lead back, which is not really what he's been brought in for. I think they're going to be a really good combo. David Montgomery's looked great. He's fitted perfectly with this team. And I think a lot of that has to do with where he came from. Dan Campbell's a lot like D'Amico Ryans. They are both kind of a little, like in a good way, unhinged. They like their guys to be unhinged. Both super classy guys, but I think they like some wild dog in their players. So Montgomery's fit right in, and Woody Marks has definitely benefited from an NFL training regimen and weight room. He looks faster. He looks stronger. I think it's going to be a good backfield. The main thing is they've got to be better in the red zone. They got to get those tough yards, and Montgomery's one of the best in the league at that.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we let you go, let's just look at the receiver room. We know Nico Collins, an absolute unit out there. Tank Dell, I heard, was out practicing today. He had that really bad injury December of 2024, a friendly fire. But you've also got the two Iowa State receivers and Jaden Higgins. You got some pieces there. What do you look at or think of this receiver group outside of Nico Collins?
Yeah, we actually got 3 Iowa State guys if you count Xavier Hutchinson, who was the first Iowa State guy to get here a few years ago. But then Jaden Higgins and Jalen Knoll are the other 2 guys you're talking about, the 2 kids they drafted last year. And dude, David Montgomery's from Iowa State too. Like I always give Nick Caserio guff about that. I'm like, what is your fetish with Iowa State, man? And I think it's a Matt Campbell fetish. So I think it's going to be a Penn State thing now. So we'll see. But anyways, to answer your question, Jaden Higgins has been one of the big stories of camp so far. Nico Collins is the number 1 wide receiver on this team and will be throughout the season. But Nico's a veteran now. Nico's been banged up at times the last couple of years. So they're taking it easy on Nico here in camp. Not because he's, not because he's banged up right now, but just so he's fresh for when the season gets here. So the benefit there has been that Jaden Higgins has sort of slid into that role with the first string offense. And he's really forged a connection with CJ Stroud. And the reason that's significant is because last year at this time, everybody thought CJ was having accuracy issues when in fact, Jaden Higgins and Jalen Knoll were getting so many reps with him, but they didn't know where they needed to be. They were just a little off. The NFL is about precision, and it really looks like night and day between Higgins and Stroud this camp. So Higgins had another big day today. I think that it's an interesting room because they're pretty much running it back with the group they had last year. It wasn't 2 years ago they went out and got Stephon Diggs. Like last year they went out and got Christian Kirk. This year it's Nico Collins. It's the 3 Iowa State kids we'll see what Tank Dell is. You guys are right. He was out there today just doing a couple drills. Didn't really do anything that required him to go against other human beings, i.e. Stingley or Lassiter or anybody. Mostly just kind of drills against air, but it was just cool to see Tank wearing shoulder pads, if I'm being honest. Haven't seen it in a long time. And then beyond that, Justin Watson is a veteran guy they have. Another guy, just to give you a name, Lewis Bond, 6th-round wide receiver out of Boston College, has had a really, really good camp for the Texans. If you're just looking to keep an eye, I know how closely people up in Edmonton are following the Texans' 53-man roster. I'm not telling you to take Lewis Bond. I'm not telling you to take Lewis Bond in fantasy or anything. I don't want people coming after Brandon and Colin saying, I heard on your show to take Lewis Bond in the first round of my fantasy draft. I'm not saying that. Just giving out names here. It's a decent room. It's not a great room, but it's a good room.
Well, Sean, thanks so much for doing this today. I really appreciate it, and good luck into the journey into FM.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait. It's going to be like stepping through a time warp or something like that. It's going to be great. Appreciate you guys. Hey, and if we ever get hockey here in Houston, I'm coming after you guys to come on my show.
Oh, let's do it. We're in 100%.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sean.
All right, cool. Appreciate you guys.
There you go. Sean Pendergast covers the Houston Texans with Sports Radio 610. I think he called me Colin, but there's worse things to be called.
That's okay. Who was on when I was sitting in for Tom last week? He called me Tom the entire hit.
Yeah, I got called.
Which I don't even care. Like I just laugh it off. Like it doesn't hurt my feelings at all. It's Tom's show. I'm hosting it. I might as well just be Tom for a day or two.
I got Jason a couple times last week. It's fine. Who are we?
It doesn't damage my ego, which should it?
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Did you hear MTR is out on Stroud?
Oh, wow.
He sent a few texts.
Color me shocked.
Be honest. What was your thoughts when that video surfaced of him walking into the facility?
Thought he looked swaggy as hell.
That's what
looked like he was swag surfing his way in to kick off camp.
I got a text from Sean. Oh, Connor. He's not on the line still, is he? I didn't mean to make him feel bad.
No. That's
Colin is his producer, he said.
Oh, yeah. Easy mix up then.
You know what? You could, he didn't call me Ringo or something, so it's totally fine.
That might be better, though. Then it's like another cool nickname to go along with your already long list, including a new one that you told me you gave to yourself, Teflon Con.
The Teflon Con.
Nothing sticks to you.
Exactly.
For example, Sean calling you Colin. Doesn't even, just bounces right off. Doesn't matter.
Original nickname too, right?
Yeah.
No one else has ever.
I've literally never heard that one before.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Never.
Louis Vuitton Con. Another one they've called me in the past.
I think Louis Vuitton's birthday was yesterday.
Oh, really? I didn't even know Louis Vuitton was a real person.
Come on.
I thought it was just a fashion company.
No.
Louis. Anywho, we'll take a break. You feeling good about the Texans after that one, though?
Sure.
Good.
I like it a lot. I actually really appreciate us talking about the running backs more so. Because I don't know if Woody Marks got enough credit for how well he played last year, where later pick kind of thrust into action because of the Mixon situation and Chubb not being a real option, right? All those things. I thought he handled himself really well, and I'm excited to see him now in this tandem action with David Montgomery, who's about as proven as anybody can be at this level.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think Sean had some really good points. They don't need Stroud to go out there and be a world beater. Just the defense is probably going to allow maybe 15 points a game, maybe less. They're going to be really good, and Stroud has that capability. Just maybe take some of the pressure off yourself. Establish the run, get the ball to your guy. I think they're going to be in pretty good shape. We'll take a break here. When we come back, we'll wrap it all up and let you know what's coming up on the Lowdown and the Jason Greger Show. It is The Frenzy, brought to you by Wilhock Beef Jerky.
Action Electrical's projects team takes the field, folks, ready to execute the entire play for new commercial builds.
Absolutely. They're masters of design, build, sketching strategy, from initial blueprints to core electrical infrastructure. The team never misses on complex projects.
Known for handling big league constructions and major renovations, ensuring flawless execution, hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Thinking of growing your business? In partnership with Prairie's Can, the Alberta Chambers of Commerce is helping businesses explore new opportunities, new markets, and build connections through organized trade missions across Canada. Find the right mission for you at abchamber.ca/trade missions.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text check to 780-777-7777. That's check to 780 all sevens. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Summer weekends in Alberta mean one thing: tournament season.
I brought the folding chairs. I brought the sunscreen. I brought the umbrella, just in case.
But who brought the snacks to get through a doubleheader?
I got Alberta's best beef jerky.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky, the ultimate sideline fuel. Whether you're cheering on the kids or watching the pros, load up on Alberta's best beef jerky.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky, because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Join play-by-play announcer Ben Showman for the games live on Sports 1440. The Toronto Blue Jays are on Edmonton's home for all things sports. Sports 1440.
What's 426 divided by 12? Okay, if I carry the one, yeah, we're out. Go Auto has a free credit calculator that does the math for you. See what you could qualify for, estimate your payments, and get a better idea of what's in your budget. Because shopping for a vehicle is exciting, but crunching numbers, yeah, not so much. Text check to 780-777-7777. That's check to 780 all sevens.
Craving a dining experience that rises above the rest? Head to Summit Restaurant in the Silent Ice Center, just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Savor exceptional house-made pizza, delectable entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails in a stylish, modern atmosphere. Perfect for a casual meal or a special night out. Summit offers a refined experience where every bite and sip reflects our dedication to quality. Elevate your dining experience. Make Summit Restaurant your destination tonight.
Ready to upgrade your ride this spring? Come on down to the Golf Cart People. They're a family-owned and operated business that's been serving the community since '97. Whether you're looking for a brand new or quality pre-owned cart, a rental for a special event, they do that too. The Golf Cart People have a huge selection of parts and accessories, and their expert service team is here to keep you rolling. The Golf Cart People, your one-stop shop for everything golf cart. Visit golfcartpeople.com.
Step into a night of pure pop magic with Arrival, Canada's ultimate tribute to ABBA, live October 9th at Pure Casino Yellowhead's Pearl Showroom. Experience a high-energy celebration of ABBA's biggest hits, brought to life by a world-class six-piece band featuring dazzling costumes, tight harmonies, and unforgettable stage energy. Tickets from just $44.99. Get yours now at Ticketmaster. Don't miss Arrival, Canada's ultimate tribute to ABBA, October 9th at Pure Casino. Pure entertainment, pure action, and pure imagination.
The Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440. Brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
$11:48. Welcome back. It is The Frenzy here on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, the home of Alberta's best beef jerky. I am a huge fan of Sean because he was texting me afterwards, And he said, I'm very jealous you guys have a beef jerky sponsor. We're pretty fortunate to have them. So, Sean and everyone else, if you make your way into the Edmonton region, we're hooking you up.
And Sean's from Texas.
Yeah.
If there's another place where I would say knows beef as close to as well as Western Canada, Alberta in particular, I think Texas would be up there.
Yeah. The South would know.
Beef.
I have really good steak in
Depends on
Hawaii
what part of the South. They might, where parts Xavier will get from, because they're just eating raccoons there.
They're eating crawfish.
Raccoon beef. Or raccoon jerky.
Will Hawk's connection. Brother company. The raccoon jerky. I don't know. Maybe it'd be good. It's all about the seasoning. Just some text rolling in here. Digs to Washington per MTR.
They gave up on Brandon Ayuk or what?
Well, why would you take him?
Despite Brandon Ayuk's best efforts to put himself on the Washington Commanders?
Yeah, so also Jordan Schultz has that. It's coming down from a few people.
But I think MTR was probably first to it, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I would assume so as well. MTR is connected. Digs to the Commanders. Okay, I like that. I like that for the Commanders.
I thought he'd land with the Ravens for sure. I just thought it seemed like such a logical fit.
Yeah. I mean,
but Washington makes sense too. They need a little more receiver help, no doubt.
The rig said, Connor, that's what David Carr said about the Texans on the NFL Network, just about running the ball, let the defense carry you. Don't have to be a world beater for Stroud. That's entirely it. Now, you do that formula, he doesn't put up big numbers, and then all of a sudden we get to contract negotiations, and it's like, well, but teams find themselves in that situation. Like, we've seen it many, many times. It was like Tua Tagovailoa. The Dolphins had to pay him. He was putting up bigger numbers. Obviously, that offense was throwing the football all around the field, but that's kind of what happens. You just almost have to account for your quarterback winning 50 or making 50+ mil, especially if you draft and develop. Yeah, MTR says, enjoy in retirement, Ayuk, you dummy. I don't think any team would take Brandon Ayuk right now.
Yeah.
Like, just the way it's been handled off the field, NFL teams do not want distractions. And that, my friends, is a distraction. Coming up next year on Sports 1440, it will be the Lowdown with Low Tide. Of course, Declan Kruger and Fenwick will be there as well. Kevin McCurdy hopping on the program, as he does most Wednesdays. They also got Rumors and Declan CAA talking some college football. Then on the Jason Greger show today, we're loading it up. I think this is the last time I host for a few weeks. Greger will be back tomorrow. We'll have JC Abbott joining us from 3downnation.com. Take a look around the CFL. Eugene Lewis, a free agent. Maybe what team might take a look? Paul Sir going to join us from Hoop City. Big loss in our community yesterday. We'll get into that. Talk a little bit about the organization there as well and the NBA offseason. We've got Stephen Ellis joining us. We'll talk some Hlinka Gretzky.
Ask him if he ended up buying the car yesterday.
Oh, we have to ask that apparently too.
You have to ask how negotiations went. I was joking with Tom in a commercial break yesterday after we learned Stephen would be out. Like, I would not want to be sitting opposite Stephen Ellis in a negotiation of any variety. The guy's just a human encyclopedia.
Yeah.
He'd have all the numbers, all the data.
Because what I know about him is his two passions are hockey
and F1
and racing. So
which
he knows
is driven on cars.
So I imagine he would be pretty efficient when it comes to that. I will ask, do you know what kind of car he was looking at?
No, that I don't.
He should have gone to Go Auto.
Well, then you can get pretty much any car you want.
Bingo.
Imagine Stephen Ellis just cruising around Ontario in like a Ferrari.
He also was asking if Livingston was going to be on today because they're going to go head to head in a couple weeks.
They're racing each other?
Well, not directly, but team-wise going up against each other. Not this week, because this week they're in Quebec, I believe. And then I think the series shifts to Ontario. So I'm going to pass that along to Livingston as well. We'll also have Struddy joining us on the show. Mark Spector. We've got Cam Tate in the 2-minute warning. We'll do 5 questions, round table, and going to try to get out to, let's say Seattle. We'll do our NFL talk. We'll try to get out to Seattle as well. So keep it locked here on Sports 1440. Unfortunately, no Blue Jays baseball today because the Jays are playing in about, 17 minutes? Taking on Houston again?
Take.
Man.
No Vladdy today.
No Vladdy.
Savage.
They lost yesterday. Savage out.
Not great.
But, we had Mike Wilner on the station, and I said, hey, what are the chances? Playoffs? Could we see a run? He said, hey, 4 games, 49 games left yesterday. Crazier things have happened.
Crazier things have happened. And as a matter of fact, I wanted to quickly bring up a stat that I had once. This was poorly timed by me. Give me a second.
There's a generation of people who grew up watching Disney movies when Disney would put sports movies out all the time. And there was a movie called Angels in the Outfield. And the kid would always say, it could happen. So that's like the mentality I have in sports, especially with the Toronto Blue Jays going into the playoffs. It could happen. It's over, man. Give it a rest, Brett from Stoney. Well, probably, Brett.
It is probably over.
It could happen.
I can't find the number. But whatever, there was a team that won the World Series that wasn't above 500 on the year until like the middle of August.
Oh, okay. So you're saying it's happened before?
There's at least one circumstance of precedent. If I can find that again, because it was sent to me, I will bring that number and situation tomorrow to the show. In the meantime, just consider it a possibility.
Was it the Twins in 87?
I don't think so.
They finished 85 and 77. How about the 2006 Cards? They only won 83 games. 2014 Giants, 88 and 74. Even the Braves in 2021.
I think that's what it was.
Wins.
I think it was the Braves. Here we go. Braves, when they won the World Series, they did not get above 500 until August 13th. Anything can happen in baseball. That was a text from a person already mentioned on the station today, Braden Zemlak.
Oh, Braden.
Who is a diehard Jays fan, and he will be along with me and some other friends to our trip to Toronto at the end of the month here. I hope they're still at least in the mix. And by that, I mean like full 5 to 2 games back.
You're going to have so many beers, you're going to think they're in the mix.
Bet.
Brett follows up with, and I could win the lottery on the moon. Well,
Brett, you have to get to the moon first for that to happen.
You could win the lottery.
The Jays are already playing in the MLB. I'd say their chances are better. But you're probably right.
We should do a coffee bet, Brett, but you got to give us crazy odds, like 100 to 1. That music means we are done. Big thank you to all you guys for joining us on the show today. We'll do it again tomorrow. We'll continue our look around the NFL and do 3 rounds, which not Josh Fenwick. Might be Donovan Paulson tomorrow as Fenwick is heading out to God's country. Coming up next, Lowdown Flow Tide, but now a Sports 1440 update with the Duke, brought to you by the Edmonton Elks. Kick off the second half of the season with a 5-game ticket pack and get a $25 voucher. Get your half-season pass today at goelks.com/tickets. Edmonton Elks, our city, our year.
The Sports 1440 update.
Toronto Blue Jays wrapping up their set in Houston this afternoon. Matinee affair taking on the Astros, getting underway just after the top of the hour. Jameson Taillon making his debut for Toronto on the hill. Hunter Brown countering for Houston. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. not going to be in the lineup as he deals with some tightness. Around the rest of the majors, Dodgers and Cubbies square off from Wrigley. Angels take on the Orioles. Yankees hosting St. Louis. White Sox and Red Sox go at it from Fenway. End of the nightcap, Seattle Mariners hosting the Detroit Tigers. WCL action tonight from Bellingham. Final game of the regular season for the Edmonton Riverhawks as they face the Bells. 7:35 first pitch Mountain. And Holinka Gretzky Cup preliminary final day of games. Canada against Sweden, 5 o'clock puck drop from downtown Edmonton. Elsewhere, 1 o'clock Slovakia against Switzerland. Czechia plays Finland at 3. End of the nightcap, Germany up against the United States. Coming up on Sports 1440, it is the Lowdown with Low Tide. I'm Brendan Douglas at your Sports 1440.